Why do the smartest people often feel alone, misunderstood, or even rejected by society? Think about it. Socrates was sentenced to death. Nietzsche spent his last years in isolation, and Schopenhauer was ignored for most of his life. If intelligence is such a great thing, why does it seem to make life harder? The truth is, the world does not always welcome people who think too much or see things differently. Arthur Schopenhauer, one of the most brutally honest philosophers, believed that intelligence is both a gift and a curse. He noticed that highly intelligent people often struggle, not because they are socially awkward, but because they see life in a way others don't. While most people follow traditions and accept common beliefs without question, intelligent people analyze everything. They ask difficult questions, and this makes them stand out. But standing out is not always a good thing. Society prefers people who fit in, who follow the rules, and who do not challenge the way things work. When intelligent people refuse to accept things blindly, they become a problem. They are labeled as rebels, troublemakers, or simply too serious. Schopenhauer believed that the smarter you are, the harder it is to connect with others, not because you don't want to, but because you struggle to find people who think like you. This pattern has repeated throughout history. Society does not reject intelligent people because they are wrong. It rejects them because they are different. Galileo was punished not because his ideas were foolish, but because they were true. Nietzsche was called insane not because his philosophy was meaningless, but because it was too honest. Even Schopenhauer himself was ignored for years, only for his ideas to be celebrated after his death. But why does intelligence make life so difficult? What do intelligent people see that others don't? To answer that, we need to look deeper into the mind of Schopenhauer and explore the uncomfortable truths that society tries to avoid. Schopenhauer compared the world to a stage where everyone is playing a role. Most people go through life following a script. They accept what they are taught, chase what they are told to, and never stop to question why. It makes life simple, but highly intelligent people, they don't just follow the script. They step back and start questioning everything. And that's where the problems begin. The smarter you are, the harder it is to accept things without thinking. You notice contradictions in what people say and do. You see the flaws in society, the hypocrisy in traditions, and the emptiness in things that most people find meaningful. You realize that much of what people believe is not based on truth, but on what is easiest to accept. Schopenhauer believed that this ability to see clearly is what separates highly intelligent people from the rest. But instead of being admired, they are often labeled as negative or arrogant. When they question traditions, they are called rebellious. When they challenge authority, they are seen as a threat. And when they refuse to engage in shallow conversations, they are told they think too much. This is not just a personal struggle, it is a pattern that repeats throughout history. Many of the greatest thinkers were ridiculed, ignored, or even punished for their ideas. Giordano Bruno was burned at the stake for suggesting the universe was infinite. Nietzsche's ideas were dismissed because they were too unsettling. Even Schopenhauer spent most of his life rejected by the academic world. This is the price of intelligence. The more you understand, the harder it is to fit in. The more you question, the more you unsettle those around you. Society does not always value deep thinkers. It often pushes them away. But why? What makes intelligence so threatening? To understand this, we need to look at how society is built and why intelligent people disrupt it. Schopenhauer believed that society is built on routine and predictability. Most people live by following rules, traditions, and social expectations. They do not spend time questioning why things are the way they are. It's not that they lack intelligence, it's that questioning everything is hard. It makes life uncomfortable, and most people would rather avoid that. But highly intelligent people don't accept things just because that's how it's always been. They think deeply, analyze critically, and challenge beliefs. This makes them unpredictable, difficult to control, and often hard to understand. A person who questions everything is unlikely to blindly follow traditions. They are unlikely to obey authority without reason, and they are unlikely to be satisfied with the same things that bring happiness to the majority. This is why intelligence is often seen as a threat. Institutions, whether religious, political, or social, rely on people following rules. If someone questions those rules, they create instability. And throughout history, intelligent people have been silenced, not because they were wrong, but because their ideas were disruptive. But society does not just ignore intelligence, it actively resists it. Instead of having deep conversations, people mock those who think differently. Instead of considering new ideas, they dismiss them as too complicated or out of touch with reality. Instead of allowing change, they hold on to old ways simply because they are familiar. This leads to a painful truth. Intelligent people often struggle to connect with the world around them. They crave deep discussions, but are surrounded by people who prefer small talk. They seek truth, but live in a world that values comfort over reality. They want to make a difference, but they realize that society does not always reward those who think differently. This creates an even deeper challenge, the emotional burden of being different. Because intelligence is not just about seeing the truth, it's about dealing with the loneliness that comes with it. Schopenhauer believed that intelligence comes with a price. The more a person understands, the harder it becomes to find happiness in the same things that others enjoy. A highly intelligent person sees the flaws in human nature, the repetitive mistakes of history, and the limitations of human existence. This can lead to frustration, sadness, and sometimes even depression. This is why so many great thinkers throughout history struggled with isolation. Nietzsche spent his last years alone. Tesla, despite his genius, died broke and forgotten. Many poets, artists, and scientists found themselves unable to fully connect with the people around them. Schopenhauer suggested that this loneliness is not a failure, it is a natural result of thinking differently. He believed that intelligent people have two choices. They can suppress their thoughts and try to fit in, or they can embrace their uniqueness and accept that they will always feel like outsiders. Neither path is easy, but Schopenhauer argued that the second option, though difficult, is the only one that leads to true fulfillment. This does not mean intelligent people should isolate themselves completely, but it does mean they should not expect to be fully understood by most people. Schopenhauer believed that fulfillment comes from within, not from social approval. Instead of seeking validation from others, intelligent people should focus on developing their minds, exploring ideas, and creating meaning for themselves. But this raises a big question. If intelligence brings so many struggles, is it really worth it? Would it be easier to just follow the crowd? Schopenhauer's answer might surprise you. Schopenhauer's ideas may seem dark, but he did not believe intelligence was only a curse. In fact, he believed that intelligence allows people to experience life in ways that others cannot. A highly intelligent person may struggle to fit in, but they also have the ability to see beauty, wisdom, and meaning where others do not. While society may resist intelligence, it is also intelligence that changes the world. Every great discovery, every revolutionary idea, and every artistic masterpiece came from someone who refused to think like everyone else. The loneliness of intelligence is real, but so is the power that comes with it. Schopenhauer believed that intelligent people should stop trying to fit into a world that does not understand them. Instead, they should embrace their uniqueness, seek knowledge, and find fulfillment in their own way. They may never be fully accepted by society, but they can create a life that is rich in understanding and purpose. So if you have ever felt like you think differently from those around you, know that you are not alone. The greatest minds in history felt the same way. Intelligence may make life harder, but it also makes it far more meaningful.